Welcome back to Manga Storian's Complete Story Series. Today we're going to be covering Berserk, Chapter 265 onward. Now in our last video, Guts and the others had stopped the first attack from Emperor Ganishka, who had declared war against the heretics who opposed the Kushan Empire. But with war coming to the Holy City, Farnese's fiancé, Roderick, had offered to take everyone to Skellig aboard his warship, anchored away from the battle. However, as they were about to leave, Ganishka's Daka, an army of demonic soldiers, appeared, setting fire to the harbor. It only took a few moments for the Holy City to be overrun by the Daka, who wasted no time in killing off the human soldiers that put up any resistance. The soldiers each attempted to fight back, but the number of Daka continued to grow just as the humans diminish. As Guts and everyone try to exit the city, Guts says that it looks like they're going to have to fight their way through. Just as he finishes, he lunges forward with a sweeping swing that tears through a chunk of the Daka. All of the guards stop to watch Guts, and Ishidoro shouts, "All right, I should cut loose too." Roderick stops the group, asking Farnese if it's okay. Aside from Guts, do they even stand a chance? Farnese says that it's alright, as long as it's always like this. With that, Serpico jumps over a group of Daka, cutting off their heads, and Ishidoro nimbly rolls through, slashing at the legs of everyone else. Both Roderick and Magnifico watch Serpico and ask if that's magic, and Ibalaria asks, "Are you stupid? Of course it is!" Another group of Daka get close, and Farnese opens her satchel containing the magical vines. As they start to wrap around the group, she looks back, telling them, "Yeah, it's magic." Just then, Shirkei spots the Ode of the Kushan and telepathically tells Guts. Without saying a word, Guts throws a small knife down a dark hallway, and seconds later, a mage stumbles out and falls to the ground. As all of the enemies start to fall, Roderick tells Magnifico that his sister and her friends are truly something, and all Magnifico can think of is that there's a witch in the House of Endominion. The group begins to make their way through the city, and as they pass through the death and destruction, Shirkei remembers back to what Sonya had shown her. Roderick calls out to everyone as they escape through the warehouse and they reach the port, when suddenly Guts and Shirkei stomp. Guts' brand begins to bleed and he shouts for everyone, "Wait!" Just as he says that, something flails around his side of the warehouse, destroying it. Everyone stares, and then the Massacre inside bursts through the walls, blocking the path to Roderick's ship. Shirkei notices another presence coming, and when she looks over, she spots a group of tiger-riding Daka heading straight for them. Guts adjusts his sword, telling everyone that he'll leave the small one to them. He'll handle the big one. Shirkei tells him to wait, but he says that it's no problem. If something goes wrong, though, he's leaving it up to her. She grips her staff and tells Guts she understands. As Guts moves in on the Massacre, Serpico and Ishidoro get to work holding off the Daka. Just as one of the tigers that Ishidoro stabs begins to move again, Roderick stabs into its eye, and Ishidoro shouts that he really should get back before he gets hurt. Roderick laughs, stating that he can't do that. A knight being protected by his princess just isn't right. A real man should never make excuses, and Ishidoro yells, "That's right!" Behind the group, Magnifico starts to try and find a place to hide, but then a Daka appears and charges right for him. Just before the Daka can land its hit, Shirkei runs up, hitting the Daka in the head with her staff and tells him to stay close behind her if it wants to live. Just as she says that, she looks back over at Guts, who's getting ready to fight the Massacre. The Massacre then roars as it releases a blast from its snout, forcing Guts to evade, and as he does, he tosses a small explosive into the Macare's eye, temporarily stunning it. It lashes out, swinging its trunk, and Guts takes the chance, cutting it in half. He pulls back, telling himself that he knew it. It's just a really powerful and slow creature. The Massacre swings, pushing Guts back, and just as he gets ready to go in for another attack, he feels something gnawing at him. It then hits him, the beast of darkness starting to creep up his back, and he grits his teeth, shouting for it to get away. Remembering what it did to him before, he stops his attack, and the Massacre charges right before him. The giant creature slams into the wall that Guts is standing in front of, and Shirkei screams out to Guts. Everyone begins to worry when they suddenly see a shadow rising from the roof. Guts steps out, and Shirkei understands that in order for him to get up there, he had to take the hit. He jumps up to the ledge, slamming his sword down, and it begins to whip around in pain. It slams back into the wall, and as it jerks around, it almost throws Guts off. And once he gets his footing, he grabs the sword with both of his hands, and he begins to carve out a hole in the Macare's head. He holds out his fake arm, and as the fist begins to pull back, a cannon fires, going into the Macare's mouth. The creature drops to the ground dead, and as soon as it hits the ground, Guts jumps off, cutting right through a group of Daka creeping up. Roderick watches as the blood flies, and he asks if he's a monster, and Ishidoro tells him, "You could say that." Guts tells them to stop fooling around, keep this up and the ship will burn. Let's clean this up and move on. While everyone gets ready to move out, Shirkei shouts for everyone to wait. She made a mistake. While they're in the midst of battle, she neglected to detect the Ode presence. At the harbor, there's an enormous amount of evil thoughts whirling around. Quietly, everyone begins to sneak up to take a look, and they see the harbor is flooded with hundreds of Daka. Roderick asks how did they manage to bring in that many, and then through the mist they see the Kushan battleship. The ship drops its walkway, and then more Daka begin to step off of the ship. While everyone tries to figure out the next plan, Magnifico mentions that they're kind of stuck here. There are more of those creatures even behind them. A few moments later, Guts grabs his sword, telling everyone to stay put no matter what happens. Don't reveal yourselves. As Guts starts to walk back, Shirkei tells him to wait. He can't do this. Guts looks back, telling them right now it's the only way. If we were to just jump in, we may not get back. What matters is that you bring me back to my senses when the time is right. Shirkei shouts that he can't say those things as if it's that simple. This is his own body that we're talking about. Just leave it to her. Ivalaria pops down, stating that this place has a weak spiritual presence. Will she be able to do this? Shirkei tells her that there definitely should be a way. There's no place that the spirits don't exist. She just needs to focus on something powerful. Shirkei looks around and sees the mills on fire and says that that's it. She tells everyone to please guard her for a bit while she performs the ritual, and the Daka from the other end of the alleyway spot the group. Guts says that he understands. He'll buy them some time, and he won't be reckless. Soon, Shirkei's spiritual body ascends into the spirit realm, and all she can see is the crimson fire, the one not natural to this world. A flame made to burn down the enemy and this city. Just as Shirkei tries to focus, the dead souls of the fire shoot by, disrupting her. In the real world, Farnese asks if everything's alright. Still in her trance, though, Shirkei begins to tap her staff. Shirkei then continues to navigate the spirit world, trying to stay on the right path, when she finally sees the source of the power. Back in the real world, the Daka are crowding through the alleyway, and Serpico mentions that it's a good thing that they are stupid. They're just blocking themselves from getting in. Out front, Guts catches his breath after slaughtering the next group, but one manages to sneak up onto the roof. The demon jumps, and Guts holds his position, spinning back, thrusting his sword up and through the demon's body. He then throws the body into the rest, and everyone sees the beast of darkness showing itself. The rage begins to burn inside of Guts, and the beast of darkness only grows stronger. Just as Guts begins to allow himself to be taken by the armor, there's a sudden rush of energy from behind him. All of the Daka try to get into the alleyway, and they turn back screaming, and that's when everyone sees it. Shirkei summoned the fire spirit that's being used to burn this city. Through Shirkei, the spirit calls out its wheel of flame. Hellfire lays waste to the fields of battle. The Whispering Soul's prayers have been granted. The enemies will be their sacred offerings, and all will be reduced to ash. Shirkei then holds out her staff and focuses again on the burning mill. And soon the burning mill begins to spin violently, spitting out flames all around them. The flames begin to get closer to the alleyway, and while Shirkei is still locked in her trance, Guts runs back, grabbing both her and Ishidoro. The wheel of fire then unhinges itself from the mill, and it rolls down the street, setting everyone on fire. With the enemy still smoldering, Guts lays Shirkei down, asking if she's alright. She slowly opens up her eyes, and the first thing that she does see is Guts. She asks how are the others, and everyone turns as Guts tells her. Everyone is safe. A few shades darker, but hey, you did a good job. Once everyone is set, Guts kneels down, telling Shirkei not to strain herself. She can ride on his back for a while. And as they start getting closer to the harbor, Guts screams for everyone to get back. From the waters, the Makara rises and roars, and as everyone turns, more Makaras appear and they surround them. Everyone begins to panic, but Guts calmly tells Shirkei to climb back down. She tries to understand why, but then she sees the beast of darkness making its way up. She says that she can't call Guts back in this condition now. And as the Makaras get closer, the beast starts to come out. Shirkei tries to pull at it, shouting, "Wait!" However, as much as Shirkei tries, all she can do is leave her spiritual presence with Guts. The beast screams as Guts lunges out, and he tears right through the first Makara. As he lands, the blood begins to rain down, and Roderick asks what is going on. He killed that beast in one strike, and Ishidoro says, "Damn, it came out. Like this Guts really isn't human anymore. We need to stay away since the beast can't tell the difference between friend or foe." Ishidoro then calls out to Shirkei, asking if she can do something, and as everyone sees Shirkei not responding, Ivalaria tells them that she's not here right now. She's probably with him. The beast screams again as it starts to dart back and forth, cutting through everything, cutting anything close by. Guts then jumps onto another Makara, slamming his sword down, running along the massive body, dragging his sword, cutting it open. As he finishes, he jumps up to the bow of the nearby ship and he begins to growl. Inside the beast's eye, though, Shirkei's astral body is trapped. And that is where we're going to leave you today. Now, don't forget to subscribe to catch us next week, and I hope you guys are enjoying this. I will see you right here next Monday.